The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
The beer of the week is Garage Brewing Company's Marshmallow Milk Stout out of Temecula, California. This is a medium-bodied dark malt with a roasty, smooth, light vanilla flavor and a touch of sweetness. And on this episode, we're going to be reviewing UFC on Fox 27, Jacare vs. Brunson 2. Stick around. Judges suck. Anyways, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 29 of MMA to the Max. I am your host, Robert Taylor, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Joseph Hudson, a.k.a. Riverside Joe. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing phenomenal today, as always. Another beautiful day in sunny Southern California. I think the temperature is 72 outside with a nice breeze coming from the north. That's all I got.
What the hell was that? Are you reading for like a meteorologist job or something, man? What are you trying to? You trying out for NBC on fucking at 7?
You got to keep my options open. You never know, dude. You know,
the hell was that?
Avenues. I figure I could.
That reminded me of the dude Hunter the Hunted or whatever in the movie Pop Star Never Stop Stopping and all that. He's reading his lines at the award show. He's like, "You messing with my money? Don't mess with my money."
Well, you know, some of us have got to do it. You know, I figure I'm trying to add an error, whatever the fucking word is, an air of professionalism around here. Let people know that we're legit. We're not just a couple of douchebags in our in-laws' office or living room. Yeah.
Oh my God, that was horrible though. Don't read like that. Don't do that again.
All right, I'll try not to. Can't make any promises, man. It's been a nice weekend. Last night, my wife and I went out, a little dinner date. It was the 9-year anniversary of the day we met. So I'm a little loopy today. Maybe had one beer too many. No, actually, I was okay. I had 3.
It's nice to know that chloroform and roofies can knock a person out for 9 years.
I know. The sad thing is she's starting to wake up, so I might have to get a new batch.
Yeah, might have to do something. Otherwise, she might end up waking up to everything and realizing she's lost 9 years of her life.
Well, the problem is she'd like to get LASIK because her eyes aren't so good, and I'm going to postpone that as long as possible.
Good idea. I would.
She sees all this right here. I'm going to be a divorced dad, seeing my kids on the weekends.
I'm looking at it, and I don't even want to come down to Easter anymore.
Yeah, I know, right? I was just thinking about that. I was doing yard work today. We got ready for Easter.
Oh yeah, we're doing that at your house, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we're gonna switch the tradition up because your dad's been doing everything. So I think we're gonna take Easter. I think your dad wants to keep Christmas, and then we'll figure out what to do with Thanksgiving and all that.
Yeah, well, hopefully with my job, hopefully I can make it. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, you can't work on Zombie Jesus' Resurrection Day, right?
I can,
like that.
And I will, and I will because that is overtime.
Oh, that's a good point. How's that marshmallow milk stout treating you, buddy?
It's phenomenal. It's really good. It's not as thick as most stouts, but it's definitely sweet. Definitely, you can taste the marshmallow sweetness to it. I know the Garage Brewing Company out in Temecula, California. Their brewery itself, they want you to pair it with a dessert pizza, which basically looks like Nutella type pizza cake thing.
I don't know if I'm feeling a Nutella pizza cake thing.
I just know what it looked like on the pictures. I mean, they said it was a chocolate hazelnut spread, which is Nutella. So I'm assuming it's either Nutella or their own type of Nutella. Either way, this is definitely a dessert stout. It's definitely a dessert beer.
Those with a sweet tooth and a propension for getting drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they do have an award-winning apple pie ale that I want to try, that I've seen on their Instagram. So
what we got to do is we got to land ourselves an interview with somebody out there training at Temecula. Set up an interview out there at this joint. Get ourselves some pizza and beer.
Yeah, I'm down. I want to go down there. We should do a live show there at the brewery. I'm down.
That'd be cool.
Full disclosure, though, before we get into the UFC on Fox 27 review, this episode, I know we announced last week we were going to be having Curtis Blades on. Unfortunately, his what's the word I was looking for?
His knee?
No, his knee. No, his sports medicine appointment's running a little long, so we had to reschedule. But he's just taking care of that knee in preparation for his fight with Mark Hunt coming up in a couple weeks. So Curtis Blades, man. I mean, I doubt you listen, but hey, take care of it, dude. We totally understand.
Oh, I don't doubt that he listens. I know for a fact that he listens. He and I have had chats about it all the time. He's a big fan of my turn of phrase, hats off to you. He wants me to take my hat off to him. As you can see, I'm not wearing one today because my hat's been taken off for one Riverside's own Lorenz Larkin and a great victory that he had on Friday night.
Yeah, he beat Fernando Gonzalez in the main event of UFC. Sorry, Bellator. What, 193, 194?
Yeah, Bellator 193 out there at Pachanga. Speaking of Temecula area, yep.
Yeah, that's right. Congratulations on him. Glad he got it back into the win column.
Yeah, it was a good fight for him. I think it was one that he should have had from the beginning. I think coming right out and fighting Douglas Lima, I don't think that was a good idea. And Paul Daly fight made more sense than going straight for Douglas Lima. But this is a good fight. It was a winnable fight for him against a guy who was going to move forward, and make him have to use his footwork and his distance management to pick him apart, which he did. To me, it was a clear 30-27 victory by him. And the crowd booed at the end. Was the only thing I can think of is that there was, it's Menifee is where Gonzalez is from, so maybe that's why, because he was a little bit more local. But Riverside is only 20, 30 minutes away. That's kind of pissed me. I shouldn't boo Lorenz, man. He put on a great fight.
Hey, by all accounts, he's a nice guy. So I don't know why. Same thing with DC though. Speaking of DC, Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic coaching the next season Ultimate Fighter, the Battle of Undefeateds, and are going to fight at the end of the season. Champion versus champion fight. Cormier challenging Stipe Miocic for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. I can't fucking wait.
DC is definitely going into the Hall of Fame if he were to retire today. Only 2 losses are to John Jones. One of them is a no contest due to a USADA violation. If he beats Stipe and gets 2 belts simultaneously in one weight class, or 2 different weight classes, he will cement himself as something that we've talked about before, as I believe, along with Ariel Helwani has pushed. He is one of the greatest of all time.
Oh,
he deserves to be on that GOAT list. Yeah, he deserves to be on the GOAT list. He's undefeated as a heavyweight, and he's fought a who's who of heavyweights. Undefeated as a lightweight against John Jones, 1 legitimate loss and 1 no contest. The guy's incredible. I love Stipe, but I really like Daniel Cormier, man. I would love to see him get that second title in the heavyweight division.
Yeah. And this is a fight, it's weird that this is a fight that Cormier always said he would never take because of Cain Velasquez being one of his best friends and coming back. But this is a fight that, in my mind, Cormier almost needs to win more so than Stipe does. Mm-hmm. Because of the disrespect that is shown towards Daniel Cormier by all people, like all facets of fans in the MMA world. Like the disrespect they show him because of the John Jones situations is ridiculous. And if he wins this fight and becomes the champ, I mean, they finally have to give him his due. It should help him get out from under that shadow of John Jones, I would hope.
Yeah, and as a UFC's second champ, right? First champ is Conor McGregor. DC has defended one of his titles. He doesn't have to defend his heavyweight title. He's defended his light heavyweight title 3 times technically, even though he didn't count this as a defense when he fought Ozdemir. McGregor's never defended a single title, so you've got to call him the best champ ever as well.
Oh, of course. I mean, he's just done it. He may not be the most popular, but I mean, when it comes to rankings, popularity doesn't and shouldn't fucking matter. So
No, it does. But unfortunately, it does, because if people don't like you, they don't vote for you to be number one. You know?
Yeah. No, I get it. And yeah, so that's great. And it's rumored to take place on UFC 226, which is, I believe, the July 7th show, which is the International Fight Week show. And the other two fights, the other two co-main events, the co-cos, are right now rumored to be Cyborg defending her featherweight championship against Amanda Nunes, which is crazy to me because Amanda Nunes always talked about how she wasn't wanting the fight, but I'm assuming she saw the home fight and saw something that says, I can beat Cyborg.
I think she saw that in the dollar bills, y'all.
That too. And
that's a lucrative fight to make.
Oh, it's a biggest fight in women's history in my mind. I mean, aside from Cyborg versus Rousey, what that would have been. Yeah, we heard that dog. It's okay. It happens.
Yeah, I have a wonderful dog with a giant bark.
It's okay.
And what's the other Coco?
The other Coco is the long-awaited flyweight championship fight between Demetrius Johnson and TJ Dillashaw. Boom.
So this is the champ card.
It will be the champ card.
Champ. 3 champs, possibly.
Possibly.
I'm excited about it. Well, possibly if they win, but I mean, all 3 fights, if that's what's to happen, is going to be for champs.
I'm still a little peeved about the fact that TJ is the one getting the title shot, the chance for the 2 belts. When if anybody's deserved it, it's Mighty Mouse. But
Mighty Mouse has not made any mention that he wants to move up. He's not going to. I want to go up, because if he wanted to, I guarantee you Dana would give that to him, because TJ stands a better chance to beat him at 35 than he does at 25 in my mind, because TJ is bigger, and that's if you look at where his losses have been, DJ's losses have been at bantamweight. So I don't know. Dude, my wife and I, we were talking about it last night. I think we need to try to get our asses out there for International Fight Week.
I've been plenty of times, especially to the UFC Expo and gone to the fights. I was there for UFC 189, Conor versus Mendez, and yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to go back out. It just all depends on the work schedule, man. The way my job pans out, I could be working that entire weekend and not even catch the show live. I'd have to catch it the day after work. So it's a shame, but it happens.
It happens. What are you gonna do? You got to make a living.
Exactly. Got to make money. Put roof over our head.
You got to get more guys like Curtis Blades who follow us on the regular and truly know who we are, and we can just make this our main source of income.
I would love to.
Right.
So, anyways, let's get into it. UFC on Fox 27.
Yeah. Been rambling for a little bit.
As of right now, according to reports, the lowest overnight rating of any of the Fox shows, which kind of sucks because it just means one thing, that people just are not taking to anybody outside of the top stars. I believe it was like 1.6 million, which is not a lot at all. That's horrible. It's horrible.
Better than that.
Yeah, I mean, it really does. And to be honest, though, to be fair, there just was not a lot of promotion for this event. There really wasn't, especially with especially with UFC 220 just recently. There just wasn't a lot of promotion for this, which is a shame because I thought it was a damn good show, especially with a show with a lot of decisions. A lot of the fights, even though they went to the decision, were still very entertaining. Drew Dober and Frank Camacho, Bobby Green, Eric Koch,
great fight.
Vince Pichel, Hakeem Silva. All decisions, all great fights. Even Randa Marcos, Juliana Lima was, I thought, an entertaining fight. It was back and forth, like kind of clinch grappling affair that Marcos ended up winning. But
first time I don't pick her because she's never done anything for me with her 7-6 record. She goes out there and performs like a freaking banshee. Crazy.
She looked good. Especially the shorts she was wearing. It looked like they were spray painted on. Jesus.
Oh, were you sad about that?
No, I enjoyed it. I have a thing for Randa Marcos. She's good. Yeah. Anyways, man, this stout's really good. In the main event, Ronaldo Jacare Souza takes out Derek Brunson by KO again. Obviously, he didn't do it in 47 seconds this time, but it took about a little over 3 minutes, almost 4 minutes. But Brunson's still showing that he has some defensive deficiencies when it comes to striking.
Yeah, a little bit. I didn't see that Jacare was totally setting up that high kick by going body, 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 head. It just seemed like, for whatever reason, Brunson thought he was going to the body with that kick, and it went to the head, and it rocked him. In all honesty, I'm not going to complain about the stoppage, but I do find it to be a touch early, because I would at least like to see Brunson at least roll over, you know what I mean, and try to get guard or do something.
Yeah.
But it would have been, it most likely would have been more of the same. So again, I'm always about the fighter's safety, and I think it was a good stoppage. But in my mind, I would have liked to see a little bit more of an opportunity for Brunson to recover. But again, not a bad stoppage in any way, shape, or form. I just would have probably let it go maybe a second longer. And if he didn't drop to his back, then he definitely was just turtled up and he was done. But fucking hats off to Jacare, man. He impressed me. I thought Brunson had improved so much in these past 5 years that he was going to be able to use his takedown defense and use his long jab and stay on the outside and then blitz in. As he was in the beginning, he was timing his blitzes, keeping his chin down, unlike the first time when he blitzed in with his neck up in the air. But he got caught. He didn't get caught by anything by accident.
Fair play to Brunson. He did improve in the last 5 years since the other fight, but the problem was so did Jacare. So
Jacare, his stand-up.
When you're improving, but when your opponent's also improving since the last fight, he was above you in the beginning, he's still going to be above. Yeah, it's just he's improving along with you. To me, that puts Jacare right back in the mix of things in the title situation, especially with Robert Whittaker having this very, very dangerous and very scary staph infection in his stomach right now.
Stomach.
Yeah, which is absolutely nuts that they missed. And I haven't heard any more news other than the fact that he was. I mean, that's dead. That's scary, man. That's a killer. That could kill you. And best wishes to the man. I hope everything turns out fine. But this is one of those situations where, you book the interim title, which they did, because who knows what the recovery is going to be like. Staph infection by itself is just dangerous and scary and deadly, but on the stomach, and especially when they didn't catch it, meaning it's been festering and eating away. You don't know what kind of damage is in there. I can't wait to hear the reports on it.
Yeah, I'm sure he seems to be a pretty closed-lipped kind of guy in his personal life, but I'd love to hear him, talk about what happened and how he got there. All I've seen on his social media posts is him plugging his, his supplement food company, sending him stuff to keep him healthy, keep him going, but nothing like, this is what happened, this is where I'm at, any of that kind of stuff,
Yeah, for sure. So, hey, hopefully for a speedy and healthy recovery, but Jesus, man, that's very scary. And I don't know. I depending on how long he's out, I don't think most people would have a problem with Jacare facing the winner of Rockhold and Romero. Both would be rematches.
That's who you do. He's number 3, and he proved it for a reason. Who else do you give the winner of Jacare Romero? Who else at middleweight? That's
it, really. I think Jacare, even though he just came off a loss to Whittaker, and this is his first fight since, and his first, and obviously a victory. But yeah, I think that's what you do is depending on Whittaker's recovery. If he's coming back, then yeah, obviously you do the unification bout. But if he's 100%. Not, if he's still out, if the staph infection is going to keep him out for even longer, then put Jacare in there. If not, Jacare versus Weidman's a fight I always wanted to see. So,
dude, that's a good point, because you got Jacare with his outstanding jiu-jitsu, and then you've got the wrestling of Weidman. Weidman's got good top pressure. His bottom game obviously showed some holes against Rockhold, but
who doesn't against Rockhold?
Yeah, that's what we talked about. He's got some of the best top pressure, but especially when it comes to his mount.
Oh yeah, easily.
He's got to have lead in his hips, man, just weighing down on you. But no, we ramble a little bit. I think Jacare is the next in line. I don't think he's the next in line for however it happens unless Whitaker's ready to fight Romero or Rockhold. Give them that fight, and then the winner of that, Jacare can wait around until that fight happens. It should be him. It shouldn't be anybody else. I'm just I'm going through my mind. That's the guy. I mean, I keep hearing rumors that Gastelum wants to go back to 70.
Which he should if he gets a nutritionist.
Which he should if he can get some nutritionist and some discipline. He'd be fucking great. He was a beast at 70.
He's a beast at 85. So he's just a beast, period, man. So
yeah, but when he fought a guy who's a big middleweight like Weidman, it showed that he belongs as being he's a good size 170. He's not a huge 170 because again, I don't want to talk about physiques because I'm one to talk, but he's got room to be more disciplined in the off season. You know, you can see that in his tummy. But
personally, I mean, I think it's pretty much should be just set at what we're talking about. Jacare gets the title shot at the interim title, depending on Whitaker's recovery. If not, then put him up against Weidman. That's where I'm at. Co-main event though of the evening, Andre Fili defeats Dennis Bermudez, and this is the start of where I'm going to get pissed. I'm going to start getting angry talking about a lot of these fights coming up.
Oh my good God! Well, when we talk about the decisions, when we talk about there's at least a judge that's sitting there with his head firmly up his ass the entire time, not watching the fights.
Yeah. I mean, let's not talk about just obviously there's the fact that two judges gave Andre Fili the fight in the first place, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous. One judge got it right at 30-27 for Bermudez. Yep. But just judging in as a whole, just period, is how are two judges seeing it one way and another judge is seeing it absolutely 100% completely opposite? This wasn't like one judge is like 29-28 and the other two are 29-28. This was a complete, in one judge's eyes, he saw a complete, 3-round victory for one fighter, and the other two were like, maybe. It just blows my mind. The same thing happened in the Caitlin Chikagian Mara Barella fight. Chikagian got the unanimous decision, which, okay, I was fine with. I agreed. I mean, 29-28 though, but one judge gave it 30-27. Gave her all 3 rounds, which is absolutely ridiculous because there's no way Chikagian won the first round.
No way at all. Well, the Dober-Camacho fight. Drew Dober dominated the first round. He had Dober on his back he dropped him. He had him on his back for nearly 3 minutes, yet he didn't win that round? Are you fucking kidding me?
He stumbled him before the end of the round. He dropped him with an uppercut earlier in the round, and yet somehow Dober got the victory. I have no problem with Dober getting the victory. I really don't.
It was a close fight. Dober 1, 2, and 3. Dober not clearly. 2 was close. Or excuse me.
2 was Dober easily.
3 was close for sure.
I scored 3 for Camacho, but I was not mad.
So did I, but I think it might have been biased because he's been a guest on the show. So I'm being honest here.
But I was asking other people too. So
yeah, same thing. I was looking at it the same way. I'm like, I'm just looking at the second round Camacho took off. The first round he dominated. The third round it was close, but he won. But to give Dober 30-27.
Yeah, there's absolutely no way Dober won the first round. I don't care what kind of judge, what kind of criteria you're using or justification you might have. There is absolutely no way you can give Drew Dober round 1 of that fight.
No, even Dominic Cruz is like, one of these judges doesn't know what a takedown is in Top Control. It's like, no, obviously they don't. How do you? He got outstruck. So as far as like your scoring system, he lost on the feet and he lost on the ground, but yet he won the round.
Yeah, which is so weird because they're not scoring. The judges in that fight, actually, they might just be the same judges. I have to look it up because in the Fili Bermudez fight, but one judge, the judges weren't scoring Camacho's takedowns and Top Control, but yet they decided to score Fili's takedowns, and that's it. That Bermudez immediately popped up on, which should barely count.
Yeah, it's not a takedown like that's not like dropping somebody. It's not. I mean, it sucks. You did what you wanted to, but when they pop back up, and they're not giving Dennis Bermudez any credit for grinding Fili against the cage and dirty boxing him and getting in there and getting more shots and controlling him against the cage. Like, that matters too.
Not to mention the simple fact that Andre Fili had 8 inches of reach on Dennis Bermudez and still got outstruck.
Yeah, he got outboxed.
Yeah, he got outboxed, and he had nothing in terms of wrestling. He had some takedowns thrown in, but he couldn't hold him down. It was immediate pop-ups. And Bermudez would go back to outstriking him.
Dennis Bermudez won that fight, and so we talked about our pick'em league, you know, and a lot of listeners are a part of the league this year. Like, I scored for shit, and I tend to be doing that lately. But like, Bermudez clearly won that fight. Like, that shouldn't
easily
count. You know, that pisses me off, dude. Like, that was horrible judging. That one, I am pissed that I didn't win. The other ones, that my bad picks, whatever, they happened. But yeah.
Well, see, there was another fight on the prelims that I did win. That I picked correctly, but I completely 100% amazingly disagree. Is Jeon Kim getting a unanimous decision? I'm sorry, split decision over Justine Quiche.
Justine, shit happens, Quiche.
Yeah, I just and one judge gave her 30-27, which is weird. He was the same judge, Steve Elliott, that gave Bermudez 30-27. So he got it right on the Bermudez fight, but earlier in the night he got it so completely, fantastically, amazingly wrong. How the hell anybody gave Kim any other round but the third is beyond me.
Yeah, she won the third round, clearly. Second round, close, but Justine won. And the first round, Justine dominated the whole round. That was her round.
Yeah, I just can't. I just don't understand these judges. I mean, I guess there's a reason why they haven't been here since 2009 or whatever it was. So, I mean,
they're trying to give them some time to get their judges up to speed.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I think the last time it was 2010. It was Florian versus Gomi. It's the last time they came,
right.
Yeah, that they came to Charlotte. And after the judging from tonight, I say we wait another 7 years to go back.
Don't come back, dude. You've got your motor speedway, Charlotte. Enjoy your NASCAR. You guys don't understand anything about mixed martial arts. No offense to the people there. It was a good crowd. I only heard "woo" like 3 times.
Yeah, it was. It's just the judging was absolutely ridiculous, man. You got a phone ringing or what? If you have to turn it on silent, now you just know now you owe our fans a beer now, man.
All right, in our next live show, fans, I'll buy you a beer. Fan.
Oh,
so
man.
I guess Jason Stone, he's the only one that's a fan.
Yeah, right. We're not giving him a beer. Fuck him. No, I'm just kidding.
But back to Bermudez, Fili. Fili didn't look bad, but I think Dennis beat him. Dennis outfought him. And then
that's good beer. Yeah, clearly. I mean, he clearly won the fight. But anyways, I hate judges so much. I really do. Luckily,
if they're close fights, it's one thing, but when it's an obvious,
like the Dober Camacho fight, I don't care that Dober won. Yeah. I mean, it was a close fight.
Dober should have won
30-27, just like, fine. Come on.
Yeah, that's wrong judging. So bad.
Even the Vince Pinchel and Hakeem Silva fight.
Okay, there you go.
I mean, it was close. I thought it was a clear third round for. I thought it was a clear second round for Pinchel. I thought it was a clear third round for Silva, but the first round could have gone either way. Actually, I could be having the first and third mixed up. I don't remember. I was already drinking that day. But either way, I remember 2 rounds were very clearly for each fighter, and then there was one round super close. I didn't care. It was a good fight. It was an entertaining fight. It was a close fight. Okay. Yep. I thought I picked Pinchel to win that fight. I scored it for Silva when I was watching it. They scored it for Pinchel. Was not mad because it was a close fight. I wouldn't have been mad if Silva did, but the judges at least were on the same page.
Yeah, it was close. I had Silva. I scored it for Silva. But I wasn't screaming and yelling that this is the end of the world because it was a close fight. It was.
Yeah.
There was one round clearly. If I recall correctly, it was round 1 for Silva, round 2 for Pinchel, and round 3 was close, where I thought Silva did a little more damage. That's how I saw it, similarly to like the Camacho fight. But I scored it the same way. The guy that ended up losing, it was the way I scored it. But at least this one, it was 29-27, 29-27, 29-27.
Yeah,
fine.
But it's not something that it's not like it was 29-28, 29-28, and then 30-27 out of nowhere. It's like, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
But anyways, back to the main card. One fight that didn't go to decision, aside from the main event, was Gregor Gillespie absolutely dominating hometown local boy Jordan Rinaldi. And
poor Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, he was basically set up. I mean, this was a showcase gimme fight from the man out of Long Island. Give you one guess where he trains from.
Strong Island, sir.
Strong Island. There you go. Oh man, but yeah, hey, Gregor Gillespie, he's now 11-0, 5 by knockout, 4 by submission, only 2 by decision, and this was a NCAA Division I 4-time All-American and a NCAA champion. This guy has future champion written all over him.
Legit, dude. I want to keep seeing them develop. Give them guys, feed them slowly. I'm starting to see that more with the UFC. They're not just dumping guys in right off the bat against, these killers. Let's feed them slowly. Let's build this guy. Let's get him to 14, 15-0. Then let's give him a top 10 guy. Give him 4 or 5 more fights. Let's go top 10, Keep building him. Get his confidence up.
I don't know. Judging by the swagger he had during the fight, man, I don't think that man's short of confidence. That's for sure.
No, he's not, but I forget who was saying it. God damn it. They're talking about Weidman in particular. I think it might have been John Danaher on JRE. He was saying, Weidman is a confidence-based fighter. He pushes forward. He moves forward. He's not the most skilled or athletic guy, but he believes in his strength. He believes in his technique, and he believes in his training.
Yep.
When you take a devastating loss like that, you could lose your swagger. That's why he was worried how he was going to take those 3 losses in a row. What was he going to do? And when he came back against Gastelum, he looked great. I don't know if Gillespie's the same way. He seems to be very, very headstrong, but sometimes that's more of a front than anything else. He has every right to be as headstrong as he is. He's a phenomenal fighter. But
absolutely.
I just don't like the UFC getting these really good fighters 10-0, and then you throw them to the wolves. It's like, well, that's one thing Bellator does a little bit better. Like with MVP, they've given MVP favorable matchups to keep building his skills. They're not going to give him, a top, an NCAA wrestler because they're just going to take MVP down and pound him out. He's going to have nothing to do with it. So at least with Gillespie in the UFC, they have a lot more fighters and a lot more options. I think they need to give him favorable matchups for the next 3 or 4 fights and then put him in a position where he's going to be tested.
Well, at least with MVP, though, I mean, it's time to shit or get off the pot with MVP in Bellator. I mean, I think he's 6-0 in Bellator now. It's time to actually give him a ranked fighter or somebody. You either have to do something with him or just pretty much tell us, yeah, we don't want this guy to be a contender or fight contenders because we're afraid of him getting exposed.
Lorenz Larkin.
Yeah, that would be a great fight to watch. I was excited about the idea of him versus Paul Daly, but Daly's on his way out of Bellator, it looks like. So, yeah,
never gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, Daly's out on his way out. But speaking of confidence, there was a fight on the prelims that I was worried about this fighter, how his confidence would look, and if it was going to be cracked thanks to the come from behind victory of his last opponent. Thankfully, because this guy is a future champion as well, Mirsad Bektik's confidence was not shaken, and he looked absolutely amazing against Godofredo Pepe. And the shot that he threw to his solar plexus.
Oh,
Dominic Cruz said it best on the event on the commentary that if he went for the headshot on that one, he would have got cracked with Pepe's knee, but he saw it coming and shot through that punch right to the body, so he avoided the knee, and oh my God, the impact.
He punched a hole through his chest. Like, I've never seen anybody take a body shot like that. Right to the solar plexus, just, Bektik looks so good, man. I was happy to see him come out there with that performance. I thought it would take him some time to warm up and get going. I had him for the second round TKO, but I was happy to see that first round TKO, yeah. Man. That was so nice.
He had absolutely zero fucks given for Pepe striking.
And Pepe's no slouch.
He's not, and he was way bigger. He was the bigger fighter by far. Much bigger. but Bektik, man, that by all accounts, the man should be undefeated. I mean, that was a Hail Mary victory by Darren Elkins. Let's be honest here. Let's be fair. It was a great victory by Elkins, but the chance of that happening again is like zilch.
Yeah.
So
no, and I think Bektik knew that, and so he didn't take too much of a head trauma in his own, mental head trauma from that loss. It was like, fuck, did I beat that guy's ass for 3.5 rounds? And he called it a lucky punch, whatever. Elkins will tell you he wasn't lucky. Which, hey, I'm not saying one way or the other, but fuck, dude, you dropped him and he won the fight. Good.
No, it wasn't lucky, but it was definitely a Hail Mary, that's for sure. I mean, when Aaron Rodgers of the Packers throws a Hail Mary like that he's known to do, it's not lucky that somebody's able to jump up and catch it. That's just what the receiver's job is. So
yeah, it's a low probability of success, but yeah, it's not lucky.
Yeah, I mean fluke maybe, but not lucky. I mean, I used to call the Belfort victory over Rockhold a fluke, and people were like, no, that's skill, that's skill. I'm like, yeah, I know it's skill, but the chances of it happening again is 0 and none. That's why it's called a fluke.
Exactly. Yeah, it's very unlikely to occur any more times than it did.
Yeah,
especially with no more TRT Vitor.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you look at the way that things shook out. Even TRT Vitor, after that, even if he was still on TRT, the way things shook out afterwards and the way Rockhold looked after, if you were going to tell me that Vitor would do it again, I'd laugh in your face.
Yeah, no. There's no way he would do it again.
Yeah. There's a difference between luck and fluke. I wish people would learn that.
Yeah, a fluke is a body part on a whale. Come on, motherfuckers. Bring your shit. Simple marine biology. Know it or don't.
Oh, man.
Too bad we aren't doing this one video because I got my beautiful AFI shirt on today.
I got my beautiful Stark Racing shirt on from Loot Crate. Man, we should try to get them as a sponsor. That'd be cool.
That would be awesome.
Well, let's real quick. I don't know what kind of plans you have tonight or today. I mean, it is Sunday. A lot of people are probably going to work tomorrow. This is my Saturday. That's what it counts as. I don't know what you're doing, but I know after I'm done here, I'm going to a buddy's house to watch the old WWE Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble. Woo-woo.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care if you watch wrestling or not, or if people watch wrestling or not. The Royal Rumble is still one of the most exciting events of the year. I don't care. Probably going to be guesting on Wrestling to the Max as well, so that should be cool to review the show. Yeah, it should be fun. I'll probably drink my my Yeti chocolate stout during that show. That's right. By the way, everybody, quick shout out, Total Wine and More. You want any beer from anywhere in the world, that's where you go. Check it out. Bevmo is a pale comparison to Total Wine and More.
Yes, I would agree. And unfortunately for me, there's no Total Wine and More near my house. I got to go all the way to Fontana Rancho. Or something like that.
To Rancho, man.
Okay.
That's where I go.
Yeah,
I do it. But I do it on my way home from work, so.
Yeah, if I don't have a job in the area, you're not going to see me around Rancho Cucamonga. What do we got going on next week for the fight?
Yeah, it's just about to get into that, man. Let's talk about that, because in the main event, we have your boy, our boy, friend and former guest of MMA to the Max, Eryk, your boy Anders, taking on the always dangerous Lyoto the Dragon Machida. It's the fight that Eryk wanted after his last victory, and it's the fight they granted him. So I hope he's happy. He's going down to Brazil for it. Machida's going to be treated like a hero, hailed like the hero that he is to the Brazilian people. Unfortunately for him, I don't see it ending very well, because I think Anders cracks that now broken chin of Lyoto Machida.
Yeah, I think the power and timing that Eryk has shown, and his improvement every single fight, he's getting better and better and better. I think it's going to be too much for Lyoto. If he can keep the pressure, which he is, Eryk is a walk forward pressure kind of fighter, and against karate guys, people who try to use their kicks and they need distance, he just needs to walk through them, protect himself, get inside. I think he wins inside up against the cage, gets Lyoto's back against the cage, dirty boxes him up a little bit, puts his weight on him. Lyoto is still a big middleweight, but Anders, I think, is stronger. I just think he's a naturally stronger middleweight, about the same size probably. But
he has about a 2-inch reach, if I remember seeing that correctly, too. So, and Anders has the power to definitely crack it. The thing is, though, you just I don't care what's happened to Machida, and how many times he's been knocked out recently. You just don't look past that caliber of fighter. His counter striking can still cause Anders fits if he's not ready for it.
Correct. But that's what it is. It's his counter striking. That's where you got to walk him down. You've got to not give him the opportunity to get that counter strike. Get it off. He's got to push the pace of the fight to make Lyoto uncomfortable, which is going to be difficult when you've got a guy who's got that type of resume, who's fought those kind of fighters and has been fighting for that long. How do you get him uncomfortable? Well, you got to move forward. And if you look at his last 3 losses, it was guys who pushed him forward and heavy-handed guys. Luke Rockhold, Yoel Romero, explosive, quick. Derek Brunson, explosive, quick. Pushed it forward, pushed him down. That's how Weidman beat him, dirty boxed him, got him up against the cage, ground him out. Phil Davis, the same thing at 205.
I still highly disagree with that decision.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I mean, Phil did grind him out a little bit.
Excuse me.
But that's how he won the fight. Disagree with it or not. And then even John Jones used that same strategy in getting Lyoto backed him up against the cage until he went using his height and got him in that standing guillotine. So those in my way, that's how you beat Lyoto, especially now. He's older, 39 years old, a little slower. But we'll see, man. I'm going for your boy all the way. I think he's going to grind him out in a decision. First 5-round fight for your boy. See how.
Well, in the UFC, no. I mean, he's been in. Remember he had that 5-round fight in the LFA for the middleweight championship. So he's been
That's
5
right,
rounds.
that's right.
Yeah. First 5-round fight in the UFC. Right. Yeah. How could you forget that, man? We talked about it on the show.
I know we did. I just remember him saying that he basically owns me.
So this card is actually really stacked if you think about it. It's not stacked with names, but it's stacked with a lot of really good fights. In the co-main event, John Dodson taking on Pedro Munhoz in the bantamweight division. And I know Dodson's the name here that a lot of people don't know Pedro Munhoz, but if you don't know Pedro Munhoz, you need to know Pedro Munhoz because the man's on a 4-5 win streak in the UFC bantamweight division, and I believe he's 5-2 overall, something like that. He's only lost to the UFC at Rafael Sanchao and Jimmy Rivera, which are not losses to be ashamed of.
Yeah, no, those are top tier guys. 15-2 is his overall record, going up against 20-9 John Dodson. Dodson has been looking good since he moved up to bantamweight. He did he lose to Lineker, right? He lost the decision. He won that decision. I can't remember. That was a close fight, though.
Lineker got the decision, but Dodson won that fight.
Dodson,
I don't care what the judges say.
Yeah, that's why I was confused. I thought Dodson won that fight. So you take that one out of bantamweight, he's running through fools. But Pedro Munhoz is no joke. I think this fight goes the distance. I think Dodson inches it out in a close fight if the judges get it right. That's my thought on that one.
Yeah, no, I'm actually with you on that. I think Dodson. I'm not sure if Dodson's power is translating as to the bantamweight division as well as he thought. I mean, sure, he had that knockout. I mean, obviously he had that stoppage with T.J. Dillashaw in the Ultimate Fighter finale at bantamweight. Early stoppage, but he still did catch him. I'm just talking about since he's returned to the bantamweight division. He stopped Manny Gambarian, but who hasn't lately? Your kids get home?
Yeah, everyone stops him. Yeah, the little one just woke up from his nap and looking for mama.
Okay, just give him some whiskey real quick. He'll go back to sleep.
He's just a bourbon guy. He's just a bourbon guy. I don't understand it. It's a whiskey house, but he drinks bourbon. What are you gonna do?
Yeah. But aside from that, also we have the UFC at least the UFC flyweight debut of Valentina Bullet Shevchenko, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah,
Michelle Prazeres and Desmond Green. Desmond Green's the only person to beat Josh Emmett so far in Emmett's career, so that's a great fight.
Yeah, and a close decision too. It was a close decision.
It was a split decision. It was really close. It was good. Timothy Johnson at heavyweight against Marcelo Gome. It was supposed to be Luis Henrique, but he got pulled. And opening the card, Thiago Santos and Anthony Smith, which I think is a great fight to open the card, man. I think it's a tremendous fight. Thiago Santos is striking against Anthony Smith's heart. I can't wait for that one.
Yeah, we talked about Anthony Smith on this in his last fight when, I think
he stopped Lombard.
Kind of was saying like a journeyman, but it was with the utmost respect. Because he's a guy who's been in there, seen it all, done it all, and he's like finally, after what is he at 40 fights, like coming into his own and owning the fact that the type of fighter he is. Again, he's a guy who does wear a lot on his chin, but I think this is a good fight, man.
It's just he's all hard, he's all hard, man.
Thiago Santos is a good technical striker. His punches usually come straight off his shoulder, get back in time. Anthony Smith is just. It's going to be a fun fight. I don't know who I'm going to pick in this one just yet. I love the heart of Anthony Smith, but Thiago with some of his technical striking technical boxing his hands. So I don't know. We'll see, man. It'll be good.
Thiago, I picked against him in his last fight. I picked Jack Munson because I still believe Jack Hermanson is still a future contender at the middleweight division. But Thiago rolled right through him, and he's quietly on a 3-fight win streak, all stoppages. The best streak of his UFC career since his 4-fight win streak before that was stopped by Gegard Mousasi. One of those situations you were talking about earlier where they took the guy on the streak and rushed him up too quick. And
exactly.
So he's quietly making another name for himself in the division. 3 fights. I'm excited to see what happens. You notice too on the preliminary card on the Fight Pass, it's being opened up by one Maya Stevenson.
Yep.
Not Joe Daddy.
It's not Joe Daddy.
Joe Wife.
Maya is not a woman. Yeah. Joe Mommy.
Yeah, so she gets her shot in the UFC after the Ultimate Fighter flyweight that she was on shortly, and she's dropping down to strawweight for it. And I can't help but think that she's only got this fight in the UFC because of who her husband is.
Maybe because she's coming in at strawweight, because I think that's her natural fighting weight division. That's where she belongs. Let's see what she can do there. If she can do something against Polyana and prove that she belongs there with her 6-4 record versus Polyana's 9-1, then we'll see. I'm not going to pick her. I'm Polyana all the way via decision. I think she's going to dominate it, but
I haven't been too impressed with her myself. So with Stevenson. So I mean, I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
So in case everybody, I'm pretty sure nobody's listening right now, but
what? They're always listening.
Yeah, the Pro Bowl happened today. The NFL Pro Bowl.
Nobody's watching the Pro Bowl.
And for anybody that cares, the AFC beat the NFC, so hooray for them. As a fan of the AFC, a team in the AFC, that's me. Happy to see that, so go for them. I didn't want to get into too big of a preview. I'm starting to get a little buzz from this stout.
That's no problem, dude.
Yeah, it's finally starting to hit me. So, and I have plans. Like I said, I'm going to go to a friend's house, watch the Royal Rumble. Got some good games to play. Got the pool, the pick'em, and all that stuff for the Royal Rumble. A little draw the number, and then also Royal Rumble bingo should be fun. All for money.
Do you know that the outcome is already predetermined, right? So if you know some of the
still
writers,
real to me, damn it.
Them.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Yeah, it was real to me when I was 12.
Now I'll be recording with those guys tonight. I'll be able to shoot our podcast out. I'm a little bummed that we didn't get Curtis Blades, but like I said earlier, still pretty understandable about it. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm gonna try to work on it. I just want to give a quick shout out, real quick, to Blake Stevenson. Give him a shout out real quick. Say thanks for all the help he's been giving me, at least for this podcast. He's gonna be the reason why we're gonna be able to go live pretty soon, at least with our video on YouTube. So thank you, Blake Stevenson. I appreciate everything. And Joe, I don't think I have anything else left.
That means I think we get into social media plugs.
I think so. I mean, do we have anything else to talk about?
I could talk about my goiter.
We could talk about this real quick. Hey, real quick. Since nobody claimed that Echo Dot, Amazon Echo Dot, not next week, because next week is Super Bowl. We will not be recording. Maybe. That's a maybe. I'll be in Vegas, Las Vegas, for the Super Bowl that weekend, that Saturday night. I'm going to watch the fight, but if I can get a good connection in the hotel room to record the show, late, it'll be late, because it is Vegas, Joe, so it will be late.
It depends on how late it is. I've got,
I'm talking like midnight.
That's probably doable.
Yeah, that's probably doable, something like that. Yeah. Then we record. I'm going to bring my stuff up there. If not, then we're off for the Super Bowl weekend. So shit happens, sorry, but I'll be in Vegas. Anyways, in about 2 weeks, we're going to do the giveaway again. So if you want in, let us know. Same names as before, except for the one person that didn't claim the prize. But then if you want in, on top of the names we already have, jump on in. So 2 weeks, Echo Dot giveaway again.
Let's do it. Let's get rid of this Echo Dot. It's just sitting there collecting dust in Robert's house.
Seriously, I'm not using it. So I just want to give it away because that's what I bought it for, people. So, fuck.
Come on now.
Listen to the show, be like, hey, I won. Okay, cool. Here you go. What's your address? I'm going to send it to you. Other than that, yeah, that's all. Okay, Joe, social media. Fuck it.
Fuck it. Social media plugs. You can get a hold of me at JoeHud45 on Twitter. Instagram, get a hold of me at MMA to the Max Joe. And as always, the 2 is the number 2. As always, my friend.
As always. All right, if you want to find me on Twitter, that's at It'sRockRobster. Find me on Instagram at MMA to the Max Rob. Find the show on Twitter at MMA to the Max Show. Find it on Facebook at facebook.com/MMA to the Max Podcast. As always, the 2 is the number 2. Right, Joe? What?
As always.
Find our show anywhere you listen to podcasts, including iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, all the good stuff. And always go to our parent website, W2Mnet.com. That's W2Mnet.com, where you can find all your needs for wrestling, movies, sports, and entertainment. Owned and headed by the one and only Sean Garmer, who gave us our start. So, always got to plug that place.
Yes, sir.
And hopefully we could reschedule with Curtis Blade soon. So,
we'll keep you guys posted.
Yeah, for sure. This is a good beer. Wish I had more.
Stop by Total Wine and More on your way to the
definitely. Or go, if you live in the Southern California area, go check out Garage Brewing Company in Temecula, California, and try it there straight from the source. So
tell them we sent you.
Oh, and real quick before we get out of here, the winner of this week's MMA to the Max, UFC Fantasy, Nick Hilton. Congratulations. Him and I were neck and neck before the Dober Camacho fight. He took Dober. Anyways, he takes it, and he takes second overall behind me for the year so far. Won the event. Congratulations, Nick Hilton, and
good job, Nick.
Yep. And fuck you, because you're not going to do it again. I think that's it.
I'm not going to say anything.
Hey, he's my friend. I will. So, congratulations, though, man. Congratulations.
I'm second to last. I have nothing to say to anybody.
On that note, anything else, man?
I'm good, my friend.
All right. For my co-host, Joe Hudson, I am Robert Taylor. This has been MMA to the Max. We will see you next week. Take care.
See ya.
The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.